Hey everyone, it's Yvonne Emile Elizondo from Silver Moon Astrology and Transpersonal Counseling, also known as Silver Moon Counseling. And this is going to be a little bit of a quicker video because mostly because I'm running late, which is typically my, modus operandi is just running late. I have an issue with time, obviously, like time just kind of slips through my fingers. Anyhow, okay, back on track. So we have the full moon in Scorpio. Today at 6:48 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I want to give you an idea what the energy, is associated with this Scorpio full moon. I love Scorpio. I love Scorpio moons. I really do. But they struggle. Scorpio moons, if you have Scorpio moon natally and even through transit, it's more of it's such a deep emotional energy. It's water, right? And it's fixed water. It's not going anywhere. It's like, I'm holding on to my emotions and I'm not going to let them go. And I'm going to go in deep and I'm going to be, go into like that depth of that emotional experience. And so, yeah, that's what we're going to be feeling today. So let me show you the chart and I'll give you some ins and outs of how we can use this energy to help us move through this Scorpio full moon. So here we have the moon in Scorpio. Again, it's a fixed water at 4 degrees, 18 minutes. And then we have the sun in Taurus at 4 degrees, 18 minutes. Taurus is an earth sign. It's fixed earth. So there's this tug of war happening between the moon and the sun. Now, I do want to just let y'all know that Pluto's involved in this a little bit. Okay, Pluto in Aquarius is the apex, right? It's pulling on both the moon and the sun, but this is a separating square. So it's Pluto's at 2 degrees, 5 minutes. So the moon and the sun have passed this, but there's still an influence in that with that energy. I feel this is going to be a little bit more about control and power, right? And so that's the gist of this. Now we just had this massive Uranus-Jupiter conjunction in Taurus. So that energy is still flowing, right? That freedom, liberation, independence, sovereignty kind of energy. So, all right, so let's talk about this full moon because we do have that Uranus Jupiter energy that's still involved in Taurus. So how could this potentially, impact the Scorpio full moon that's connected to Pluto? All right, so Scorpio energy is, as I mentioned earlier, it's about emotion, right? It likes emotional depth. If you know any Scorpios in your life, whether it's Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, or Scorpio moon, you're going to very quickly realize that it is about depth for them. It's not superficiality. It's not just skimming the top, right? Everything that they do there's an intensity to it. They're ruled by Mars, okay? The co-ruler would be Pluto, okay? So, but the Scorpio represents those things that are hidden, those things that are deep within. It represents the subconscious to some degree. It represents fears. It represents obsession and power and control. And all of those themes also, are correlated to Pluto to some extent. So we will see some of those themes coming up. Maybe some, really recognizing like, oh, I didn't know this about this person, or, oh, I didn't realize that about myself. This is kind of the full moon that we are dealing with. Now we still have Mercury retrograde, making a mess out of my life, technologically, of course, in Aries. So again, we're still dealing with some of those delays. I know my brother experienced some travel delays today. So delays, miscommunications, my package that was supposed to be delivered like a week ago is still somewhere out there in the ethers. So we're still mitigating some of that Mercury retrograde energy. But back to this full moon, right? So the sun in Taurus is about stability in the physical manifestation. It's about stability in the real world. It's about stability with finances, resources. Okay, again, the physical material experience. So on the opposite polarity, you're going to have Scorpio, again, fixed water. That's going to be more about diving into those themes that are not necessarily part of the physical manifestation, such as fears, right? Fears are pretty much here. They don't truly exist. We create fears up here, right? And sometimes in here, but fears don't truly exist. We make them up. Again, so this full moon is going to be very much in tune to those things that are not physically manifest, but that still impact us, like feelings and emotions and fears and doubts, right? And with this apex of Pluto holding on to the two luminaries, this makes me feel like it's probably going to be a little bit more about either self-control or a controlling aspect to this, right? It's about transformation. It's about changing. It's about exploring both sides of the polarity, the light, okay, in the manifest world, and then the darkness in the unmanifest world, okay, in the subconscious or unconscious realms. So you may feel like old patterns may be coming up, okay? You may feel like old fears may be, coming up. You may feel like you need to dive into more of the self-exploration and figure out why you function the way you function, okay? But overall, this moon is very much about honing in. Okay, there's an intensity with Scorpio. It's like it hones in and it follows a thread and it keeps going until, it accomplishes what it wants. So there's that, more pleasant part of Scorpio that says, yep, I got this, I can do this. And then there's the unpleasant part of Scorpio that says, I'm going to control this, I'm going to force it, I'm going to, be in a power struggle for this. So that's kind of the vibe that we're dealing with today. So you may feel, okay, like you need some solidity in your life. Maybe you've been emotionally being, tumbled around like many of us have with the solar eclipse, Mercury retrograde, okay, Uranus and Jupiter conjunct, okay? So you may be feeling like turmoil, right? Just kind of like, when there's a big wave, right, coming through. And if you take the camera from the top of the wave, it looks beautiful. But when you look underneath, there's all of this, turmoil. The sand is moving around. The water is, tumbling around. That's kind of Scorpio vibes, right? Okay, so what can we do for this Scorpio moon? Anything water related, I think, is going to be very helpful. Even giving an offering to the water, right? Thanking the water spirits for what they do, okay, for us to nourish us, to calm us, to heal us. Water can be very healing. It's about honoring your emotions too, okay? Accepting how you're feeling, I think, can be very difficult for a lot of people, including myself. So accepting how you're feeling, in those moments, and recognizing that just like water, emotions are going to come and go, right? They're going to wax and wane. Sometimes emotions with Scorpio are a little bit more difficult to wax and wane. They hold on to more of that emotion because it's fixed, water. And so sometimes there could be grudge holding, there could be resentment, there could be, just more of those negative feelings associated with stuck water. So acknowledging any of those emotions that you might have, maybe some stuck emotions that you have, right? Just acknowledging them. And once we acknowledge them, we give them permission to move on. So, yeah, anything water related. If you want to give an offering, again, what I like to do is I like to put a little glass of water. It's perfect for moon water. Okay. I like to put a little glass of water, a little crystal in there, leave it under the full moon. And then what I do is I take it as an offering. So anytime I do a little bit of spell work, or I do a little bit of prayer, I do a little bit of, meditation, or I'm just kind of sitting and just wanting to connect with nature, I take that water and I offer it back to Mother Earth and its beautiful creatures. So that is it, everyone. I hope everyone has a fantastic Scorpio full moon. And if you want to learn more about your chart, you can find me at silvermooncounseling.org. That is silvermooncounseling.org. I'm really proud of myself because I remembered to record this video. I just came out from working out. So yeah, anyhow, that is it. Thank you. I remembered time did not slip by this time. Okay, take care, everyone. Blessed be.